GoForThe2.com in with my week one predictions and previews. I'm going to start to make short previews as we inch closer to the season. I'm also going to encompass a season preview of Wisconsin in this week one matchup. All of this statistical information is up in my 2018 preview up on Amazon, the GoForThe2.com Power 5 preview. It's available on paperback or ebook. Check it out. Jam-packed with stats from the Vegas perspective. Let's look at this week one matchup between Wisconsin and Western Kentucky overall. You look at the job that Paul Chryst did with the Badgers, leading them to a Big Ten championship appearance against Ohio State. They were 12-0 in the regular season and lost that ball game to the Ohio State Buckeyes in Indianapolis. They rebounded with a dominant Orange Bowl victory over 10-3 ranked Miami. They won that matchup by a total of 10 points, 34-24. This was an offense last year that was led by their quarterback, Alex Hornibrook. He did throw for 2,600 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. This was an offense in Wisconsin that looked to run the football with running back Jonathan Taylor. They rushed for over 200 yards in 9 of their 14 games. They dominated those opponents by 29.6 points per game. They were undefeated every time Wisconsin rushed for over 200 yards. You look at this Wisconsin team in Big Ten play last year. They were 9-1 against Big Ten opponents and won those games by 19.3 points per game. Their only loss did come in the title game to the Buckeyes. And when you look at home and away last year, Wisconsin was 7-0 at home in Madison. They won those games by 22 points per game. They were 6-1 on the road or on a neutral field site and won those games by 23.1 points per game. It was the ability for the offense to run the football first and work off of play action with their quarterback, Alex Hornibrook. He started fast. You remember he set the Wisconsin completion percentage record in that win in Provo over BYU. He only threw one incompletion in that dominating 40-7 win in Provo. Can he duplicate that type of success in 2018 remains to be seen. When you look at the job that defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard did with this defense overall, 5th best rushing defense in college football. When you look at they held 8 of their 14 opponents under 100 yards rushing. They were 8-0 in those matchups and won those games by 24.6 points per game. When you look at the week one matchup against Western Kentucky, it's going to be, can Western Kentucky run the football consistently up against the front seven of Wisconsin? When you look at Western Kentucky last year, an inept one-dimensional offense that failed to run the football consistently. They were dead last in FBS, averaging only 66 rushing yards per game. You look at the progression under Jeff Brom that led that team to back-to-back conference championships. He moved on along with former running back Anthony Wales and former offensive lineman Forrest Lamb, who became a second-round draft pick. When you look at Western Kentucky 2 years ago, they had offensive balance. They were rushed for close to 198 rushing yards per game. They tailed off last year with their first-year head coach Sanford, and more importantly, put a lot of pressure on former quarterback Mike White to make plays, and they were forced into third down and long situations. That's going to be the matchup to play out in this game against Wisconsin. We'll see it as we inch closer to the season. I'll give you my pick for this ball game, but when you look at Wisconsin for the 2018 season, can this team get back to a Big Ten championship game remains to be seen. When you look at their 2018 opponents, they have a combined their FBS opponents have a combined overall record in 2018 of 72-79, which is a 476 winning percentage. But you look at their road games in 2018, and that's where I have concerns. Wisconsin has to go on the road against Iowa, on the road against Michigan and Penn State, Northwestern, and Purdue, all Big Ten road games. Can they duplicate the type of success that they had in 2017 in tough environments remains to be seen. Stay with me all season long. We'll be breaking down all these season previews and week one matchups as we inch closer to the season. Doesn't get better than this.